Looks like we're good. Okay, awesome. Now we're live everywhere. All right, everyone. Hey, welcome to our Enter Shaolin Friday Q&A, where we answer your questions about Kung Fu, Enter Shaolin, Facebook, who apparently is down again every single time we go live. I don't understand. I have perfect Wi-Fi. It doesn't like us. So we'll catch up.
Comcast.
Well, that's all we have, bro.
I know.
That's all we can do. I can't do any better. So if you have Comcast and you know our pains and our struggles, we're on business class and we still have crappy internet and we pay a lot of money. It's insane. But moving on, if you're interested in health and wellness, stuff about Qigong, Tai Chi, come back here.
Hey,
I'm your host, CJ Jamie. Sifu Larry is going to be manning Facebook if it ever comes back up, as well as YouTube. And so he'll take care of you. If you have any questions, get them over to us. And Sifu Fu is here to answer and help out with anything that you need to do. I'm going to try to, Facebook's not connecting. So it is what it is. Maybe we'll get back on Facebook. Maybe we won't. But for now, we will concentrate on everyone else. Those of you on YouTube, make sure you use the chat in YouTube to send over your questions or comments that you have that you want to share. If you have any testimonials, whether you're a member or not member, and you've been accessing our training on YouTube and you want to talk about that, that is all good. And someone keeps calling. They're very insistent. Let me talk about call etiquette, people. If we don't answer the first time, it's because we're busy. Like maybe we're in the middle of a webinar, like right now. Don't call back again. Leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. We have a couple people that keep doing that. They'll just keep calling and calling and calling until we finally answer. We might be training. We might be doing a video. We might be doing a webinar or a seminar. You just never know. So in general, if you don't get us, just leave us a message. We will get back to you as soon as we're done doing whatever it is that we're doing. Promise you, we'll take care of you, okay? So moving on, we have still some seats available for our seminar. The hotel is almost maxed out. So if you've been kind of on the fence and thinking about coming to this Tai Chi seminar, I highly, highly recommend that you do it now. Now, I can't, just jump over.
Hop on board.
Hop on over. But one thing I cannot promise is that we'll be able to get you the discount. It wasn't a huge discount. That hotel is actually pretty economical. I think it's like $139 a night without our discount. So that's not available, but you can still get it for a good price if there is any rooms that are left. So you may want to check that out. If not, if you still want to go, I do know that we might have a couple people that might want to room up. So that might be a possibility. And there's also several hotels in the area. So I can find out what the closest one is and help you with that too. But if you want to get all the information, plus get hooked up with it, go to entershaolin.com/seminar and you'll be able to do that. Let's see. And real quick about the seminar while I'm waiting for some questions to come through is you don't have to already know Tai Chi. We'll help you. And even if you're doing a different type of Tai Chi, that's okay. You can do that as well. So okay, sorry about that. Sifu Larry was just letting me know what was going on. So if you guys can't ever find the webinar, super simple. Go to entershaolin.com/webinar. And you will be able to click on, if it's Friday, obviously click on the Friday one. If it's Tuesday, click on the Tuesday one, and then you'll be taken to the live one. Or you can go to our Enter Tai Chi YouTube channel and access it live there as well. So we do our best to make things just stupid simple. So it's always available to you. You can find it. And if not, you can always email us. But preferably don't call us in the middle of a webinar because that's just not working for me. But that makes it a little bit more difficult. That's harder to deal with. So let's see what we got going on. We got some people chatting up right now. We got Russell says hi. Hey, Russell. We got Douglas. Hey. Curtis says, no Knob videos on my Roku channel do not work. I pay for junior level access and they still don't work. Well, that's probably because you don't have it connected. And Curtis, I think you emailed me yesterday and I'm going to get to you. I just haven't had a chance to do that. Just to let you guys and gals know, generally, if you send something in, give me 48 hours. If you don't hear from me in 48 hours, or if it's like, let's say you send it late on Friday, give me about 72 hours because it's a first come, first serve. So depending on what's going on, if we've been filming, if we had crazy weather like we did the past couple of days and we don't have internet access, a lot of different variables play into play. But generally, that's why I haven't gotten to you. But I will show you Wait, can I show you? No, I can't show you live how to access it, because if I do, then I'd have to give someone's private information away. But in short, if you go to the members menu and go to my accounts, where it has the details for your account details, click on edit. In that, if you scroll down, you will get your PIN number that you need. That's where you get the PIN number to put into the Roku. So let me know if that works for you. I'll follow up with you after the webinar just to check in and make sure that you're good to go. But that's how you do it. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully, Curtis. And hopefully you're the person that emailed me. If not, that means someone else needs some help with that. But I think I recognize your name. So hopefully I'm right about that. All right. So let's see who we have on with us. We have Caleb, Catherine, Curtis, Dominic, Douglas, Russell White, Terry Hall. Let's see. We got some people dragging in on YouTube. We got Panero, which, hey, Panero, we've seen you a couple times on here. Good to have you back. We got Dragon Wolf 5. We got Feather Cohen and Gerard. Yes, that comment was for you, Gerard. It was. But not just for you. Trust me, there's a couple other people that do that too. But yeah, if you can't get a hold of us, it's always because we're in the middle of something. We will call you back or we will email you back. But if you don't hear from us in 48 hours, get back to us, because that means that maybe we didn't get your email or your message. It does happen. Sadly, technology is not perfect. And, we have Comcast, so it's extra not perfect. All right. Let's see what we have. Do we have any questions that came in? Not so far. I think we had one question on email that I had for us. So Buddy, it might be Buddy Lim, says, hi, how can I choose the course depending on the styles that I want to learn? For example, Wing Chun. And can I choose the module, for example, Wooden Dummy? So we have several different membership levels. And let me see if I can share my screen with all of you. And I'll kind of just give you a walk through so you guys can see what is available to you.
Should I try to reconnect this?
I guess just hit finish. I don't think it's going to connect. So for those on Facebook, you won't see this.
Delete it?
Yeah, just delete it. Sorry about that, Facebook. It won't let us connect with you for some reason, even though we have a full signal. We don't know what's going on.
I want to try it again. I don't even know how to do that.
Here. So if you go to publish, but we got to take the phone out. All right, never mind. We're just going to leave that alone. All right, so Curtis said real quick before I get to this other thing, he says, Sifu Food talks about forces and body mechanics when he uses China. Do you teach this or do you just teach techniques? Of course we teach what we're talking about. What?
No, he's saying, do I just teach the techniques or how the body works in the techniques? Of course, I teach both.
Yeah, we teach both. Yeah, if
you need to understand how the body works to understand how to apply the technique right. You can apply... think of techniques as formulas in physics. You could have a gravity formula, a speed formula, a mass formula, and stuff like that. But if you don't know what the problem is, you can put a gravity formula for a speed formula. Even though the formula is right, it's not in the right application. And that's the same thing. If you understand how the body works, then you can understand how to manipulate the technique behind that.
Yeah, Sifu Food teaches not just how that works, but he tells you how to know if you're doing it wrong. So that way you can self-correct and take care of any problematic stuff. And he's been teaching for so long, he really knows all the different things that you're probably going to do, how to know if you're forcing, how to know if you're collapsing, and all these different things. So yeah, anything that we talk about is in full depth. As a member, you get all of that. And even on our YouTube videos, he's shared enough stuff on YouTube where if you just go study that, you can really, really get the gist of the majority of what we teach and the mechanics behind it. So everything that we do with No Dak Na is infused in everything, like China, Wing Chun, Tai Chi, Qigong, all of that. So you're not just learning the principles and then not understanding how to apply them to other styles. We teach how to apply them to all the styles that we teach. And that can also help people take that information and apply it to whatever styles that they love to. That's what's so great about No Dak Na. It's completely versatile and it can just enhance whatever you're doing.
It's a system of energy control. It's really what it is. And it doesn't matter the style because all styles have a common thing. It takes energy to make work done. So the idea is you study the energy and you study how the body works and how the energy works within the body, and you learn to use that to your control.
Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen with all of you so we can answer this other person's question about the junior, well, they didn't ask about the junior membership, but they're wanting to know, if you join Inner Shaolin, are you able to just, you know, pick and choose what modules you want to learn and what type of training you want to learn? And that depends on what membership level you choose. So I'm going to cover the basics of that and then show you how to use the site when you get inside. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen. All righty. All right, so if you go to innershaolin.com/join, you're going to find our main join page, and you can access this as soon as you go to innershaolin.com. It's on our top menu. So if you find Inner Shaolin's website, you can find this page. It's pretty simple. We do our best to make everything stupid, simple, easy as possible as we can. So let me see if I can make that a little bigger. There we go. All right. So when you go down here, there's different membership options. So our light membership is the most affordable, and this gives you access to our Nodak Na 101 course, which is a 52-week course that covers the basics of Nodak Na, Qigong, core training, and China. Now notice, I did not say that covers the basis of Wing Chun. I've had a couple people sign up to this and go, why can't I access Wing Chun? Well, that's why you should always read what you're signing up for, and we make sure to lay everything out for you so that way you know what you're getting and what you're paying for. So you get weekly quizzes, quarterly critiques, and access to these member Q&A webinars, and we also open them up to our fans as well, and member chat and forum, webinars, seminar replays, and weekly updates so you can stay in the know. So our junior membership is where you get access to not just the Nodak Na 101 course, basically everything that's in the light, well, not basically, everything that's in the light you get as a junior or an abbot and so on. But the junior membership is where you get access to our training hall, which is where you're going to be able to pick and choose what courses that you want to work on. Like for instance, Wing Chun, maybe you want to access more core training, more of our Chin Na, you want to access our Tai Chi, more advanced Qigong like Neigong, 40 breaths and stuff like that, women's self-defense and ground fighting. So if you're the type of person that you want to be able to access everything all at once and be able to learn at your own pace, then you want to be at least a junior membership or above. So you get, you know, new weekly training hall videos, as well as expansive library. Like seriously, if you sat down and went through all of the training that we had and properly trained and worked on it, at least 7 years of training in there, maybe even 8. And that's growing. So every week we're filming for new stuff to add into what's already there. So if you go in, like for instance, this person was interested in Wing Chun, like what if I want to do the Mukjong form? We have all that in there already. So you can go and work on that. But I will say, if you're not familiar with Sifu Fu's Silam Tao or any of the other parts like Bilji and stuff like that, you should go back and also work on that and learn that, because you're going to perfect what you already know. So don't think because you already done Silam Tao or you've already done Bilji or whatever that you know everything, because I promise you, you're going to learn some great techniques to perfect what you already do know. So don't be afraid to dive in deep and really check things out, because you'll be really amazed at the different things and techniques you can learn with the Nodak Na applied to your Wing Chun that will really enhance what you're already doing. So that's all in there. The Abbott membership is our lifetime membership. So obviously you get the biggest savings overall because you're paying once and that's it. So after usually about 2.5 years, we're paying for you to be a member. What does that mean? That means that every time that you access the training, it costs us money with the bandwidth from the videos and different things like that. So we're paying for you after 2.5 years to be part of our family and be a member. So it's the hugest savings over time.
And benefits.
And benefits, yes. You get monthly critiques. Those are video critiques. So you send in a video, and then what Sifu Fu will do is do a voiceover over that video so you can hear the critiques that he's talking about as you see yourself. And then we do a video showing you the critique, the different stuff that he wants you to work on. So you can hear what's going on, and then he'll physically show you the different things that he wants you to work on too. So that's a really great benefit. They can also request training videos, and any member that joins now as an Abbott member, you get access to that for life. as well. So anything prior, even like 3 years ago that someone has requested, you can still see those other Abbott requests. So we have different things in there, like people that wanted to jump ahead on the Tai Chi and wanted to work on Fair Lady work shuttles, like they wanted to see the breakdown on that before we released it in the main training hall. We did that. There was someone that wanted to know, like, what do I do if someone's coming at me on the street with a bat? How do I handle that? Different things like that. So it's a really interesting and fun, unique thing. So it's a great training asset. Also, they get to have a private Abbott chat and discounts to our seminars and certifications if they want to become certified to teach NODAC-NA. So that's the basis of that. So now I'm going to show you guys and gals the actual training area. Oh, sorry. I meant to click on that. Not. So that was the back office. You don't need to worry about that because your back office doesn't look like this. So when you log in, it will say welcome home and obviously your name. And depending on what membership level you are, it will actually say that right here. But because I'm admin, it's not showing any of that right now, but it'll say access level and whether you're intro, a light member, an Abbott, and so on and so forth. There's a welcome video. If it's your first time, please watch this. It helps you understand just how to use the site as a whole and some background information about Inner Shaolin. Stay in the know is just one of the ways that you can access our weekly updates that we do. We also send them out to you via email. But if you're ever, behind or, for whatever reason, accidentally deleted it, you can always access it through here. The NODAC-NA intro is our free membership that we have, but it's also just the basics, the fundamentals. So if you want to reread the ebook or the 5 free intro lessons that we have, this is where you would do that. NODAC-NA 101 course is where obviously the 101 course is. So that's our 52 weekly course that I was talking about earlier. And then the Inner Shaolin Kun is our training hall where you can just pick stuff that you want. Now, remember, you have to be a junior membership or above to be able to access this. So in here, I got to change my membership level or we're not going to be able to see anything. So give me a moment here to fix that. Okay, so for instance, the person that asked the question, they want to know about Wing Chun. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Wing Chun. And then everything is broken down into a course curriculum. So for instance, module 1 is Silum Tao, module 2 is Silum Tao techniques, and so on and so forth. We got footwork, Chum Kyul. And what you'll notice is that he doesn't just teach the forms. He teaches you the application of what you're doing. So a lot of people are like, oh man, why should I do forms? Like they're always like, I just don't understand. I just feel like I'm just repeating a bunch of movements and there's no purpose behind it. Well, Sifu helps you understand the purpose of why you're doing those moves. So down here we have the Muk Jong, but like I said, instead of just learning the sets and the sequence, you're learning also the techniques from that. How do they apply in different fighting scenarios and so on and so forth. So that's how you would access all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and pop us back over and hopefully that will help our buddy, I hope I'm saying that right, Buddy Lim, understand what's going on and also be able to help those that are watching be able to see how to utilize the site if they had any questions or possibly, check it out if they haven't realized that we had any training online, because there are some people that watch our YouTube videos and still don't know that we have training online. So now you know. We're not hiding anything. It's out in the open for you. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing that. And there we go. So let's see. Douglas says, all the full depth training is what I love about Inner Shaolin. Curtis says, thank you. You're welcome. Dominic says, it's great, isn't it? It's so detailed. You learn more every time you watch. It's true. It's one of those things, a lot of people, we have some people that go into the site and they just kind of like run through stuff. And they're like, oh, well, I already know Silum Tao because, I memorized it. But it's so much more than that. Are you doing your form right? And you might wonder, well, I'm an online student. How the heck am I going to know that? Well, we give you different pressure tests and different things that you can figure out with a partner that you can figure out if you're doing stuff right. But we also have online critiques that you can do. And we also have seminars that you can come to and do some live training with us to be able to figure that out too. So we do our best to bridge the gap of you being an online learner and a distance learner so you can understand if you are doing this stuff right. Curtis says, I saw a video online on an animal technique like dragon. My local teacher teaches animal techniques as Qigong, but your video showed them as fighting. Do you teach this?
Yeah, of course. I teach the combat system. That's why we put a video to show what the dragon was. Anything you do can become Qigong or take combat. Any internal style can be external style. Any external style can be turned internal style. It's how you do it. It's the method in which you do it. just understand that really what you're doing is controlling the energy behind what you're doing. So whether you're going to be tense about it or be fluid about it and soft about it, flowing and connecting, that's what really makes the difference. So yeah, I do teach it, but I don't teach it on the website yet. We're working on getting that up. We have a lot to film. So there's a lot we're doing. We're trying to finish out certain things, like trying to finish it with the Wing Chun all together to break down the teaching techniques. And we're still, doing that. Much. Tai Chi, weapons, we just have so many requests and so many things. And animals is very involved. It takes a lot of practice to get to do the animals or dragons, whatever, snake, right?
There's a lot
it's a lot of things. The form is long. You have to understand the basis of it. So we might start doing the basic animal techniques, like learning like just single points, like for example, how to stroke in a tiger or how to just snatch in the hand on the dragon, rather than go so much depth, because it's going to take quite a while to break down every animal. So we'll just do little by little, like maybe layer 1 of every animal, then we'll do a layer 2 of every animal, and a layer 3 of every animal. So that way you can still get the videos and still learn, but learn on a slower basis, just because it's just way too much for us to film everything all at once. And
it's like the Tai Chi. We're still breaking down the last third.
We're still doing that, and we got to do the push hands, and we got to do the combat, we got to do the pressure testing. So, it's just so much, and so we're doing what we can. There's only 3 of us, so we do what we can. We do it the best of our ability to try and help everybody out. I know there's an interest in animals, especially the ones we do. It's very efficient, very effective. There's traditional animal styles are made more for the wushu showing stuff, and it's not effective. And it looks nice, but it's not effective. And the reason why it looks nice is because it's more fluid and showing flashy, but that's not what you need for combat. You need direct, you need precision, you need control, you need speed, and you need accuracy. You don't want this big, nice, fluid looking. Wow, it looks so pretty. It looks like a dance, and that's all. A true combat should be like, what do you do? I didn't even know what he did. He just like licked his finger, the guy dropped. Like, that's how it should be. It should be very fast, very efficient, very effective, and it should be very, very to the point. It shouldn't be this all dancing around, moving all this big. You want to be right directly to the point. And that's what we want to teach. And that's what NDN is always focused on, even in the animal system. So yeah, we do teach it, but yes, we no, we don't teach it right now yet. We're working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah. So there is some on the, he said, thanks, I'll upgrade my membership immediately after the webinar. You're very welcome. And let me know if you need any help with that. If you have any complications with upgrading, I'll make sure to help you out, Curtis.
If you're an Abbott member, you can request the technique in an animal, and we can do that for you.
Oh, yeah. You can do that in advance. That is the benefit of being an Abbott. So if you're like,
once a month, request the video. So.
Right, like, hey, so
could you show me a couple techniques of the dragon or whatever? We can work on that and just do a specific video for you as an Abbott member.
Yeah, we actually have next week we're filming an Abbott request, and then we also have an Abbott critique to do. So we'll be filming for those next week for those Abbotts that are listening and been wondering if we got your stuff. Yes, we did. We didn't get to film our normal amount of time. We would have done it on Wednesday, but we had that crazy snowstorm, so we didn't film on Wednesday. So we'll be filming for that next week and get that out to you. Also, what was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say. Oh, so do you do the Qigong? Or have you seen the different animal styles actually done as Qigong?
Well, I myself haven't seen any animal Qigong exercise. But it's just words.
Right.
You can say, look, I'm doing this. I'm going to call it dragon because I put my fingers like this. Just remember, it's just energy. In the end, it's just energy. The name you give it is just words that man made up. Energy is energy. It doesn't matter what style it is. That's why we're not about style. That's why our motto is let energy refine you, right? We say, don't let style define you, let energy refine you. It's all the same. If you do this, you can say that's karate. Well, that's Hungar. Well, that's boxing. They're all the same. I always say a punch is a punch, a punch, a punch, a kick's a kick, a kick's a kick. It's just what matters is the energy behind it and how you do it. And that's what we're all about, knowing how to get the maximum output with minimum effort. And that's we're studying the energy, knowing how to produce the energy. So you can say, I'm karate, boom, you do the 3 proof that way, you're gonna be more powerful. You say you're a boxer, 3 proof that way, you're gonna be more powerful. If you're a NDN system, 3 proof that way, it's gonna be more powerful. So it doesn't matter what style you want to call yourself. What matters is the way you produce the energy behind it. And that's what we focus on. We're not here about the style, say one style is better than the other. You can take one guy and beat another guy, and that same guy can lose to another guy in the same system. You know, it comes down to the practitioner. Now, don't get me wrong. Techniques make the big difference. That's what we're all about. Understand how to maximize that technique. You know, you got the world's greatest car driver in the slowest car possible and have an average guy in the fastest car. And that average guy is going to wind up winning because that car makes a difference.
Only so much
you know, so there is, but you could have an average car with an average car or with a great driver, and that driver is going to make the difference. So they do play on each other. You know, the fighter makes a difference, but the technique behind the fighter can enhance them to even more. So that can make the difference. But there is a part where there's a lot that lies in the fighter. But then that fighter who learns better technique can become that much greater.
Right.
You know, a great shot can shoot very well, far, let's say, but he can shoot even much better if he had a scope behind it. You know, if it's a sniper, like it just makes it that much better. And that's what techniques do to a good fighter.
Yeah. And Curtis, I don't know, because I know you're kind of new to what we do, but with our Tai Chi, you know, you get the health benefits from it because you're doing your form and you're learning how to control your body and stuff like that. But Sifu Fu also teaches the fighting aspect of that, which is a lot different than what most people do with Tai Chi. He says, I study traditional Yang style long form. I have a great local teacher, but he doesn't teach as much as you guys do. I feel like I can learn more from your site than I can from him. Plus, you're cheaper than my local lessons.
Well, I could say this, and I'm not saying you're a teacher. I want to just say,
in general,
most people teach you how to move energy. Okay, so they're telling you, oh, you want to do this, you want to do this, you want to do this way, you want to do this way. We don't teach you just how to move energy. We want to teach you how to control the energy behind it. And that's where people generally fail in combat because they're not learning how to control the energy, just know how to move it. So under pressure, they don't know how to handle it because they've never learned how to handle the pressure because they don't know how to create the infrastructure properly. And that's always the same thing as learning how to lock, like we talked about. Learning techniques versus understanding the anatomy. If you can understand the anatomy, you could understand how to apply the technique against the anatomy better. And same thing. You're not just learning how to move energy. You learn how to control the energy. It's like, I always use dancing. Anyone can dance when they mimic steps, you know, like Backstreet Boys, you follow their step moves.
Right.
But a great dancer feels music. He doesn't mimic steps. He feels steps. And that's what we teach you to do. We teach you how to feel the energy, control the energy, not just move the energy. That's one dimensional. Yeah.
And I'll also say, Curtis, I don't know if you're like a public or private student, but for instance, my daughter does wushu and Steve Larry's daughter also does wushu, and their teacher, you're only going to get so much out of him in a public environment. But if you take private lessons, it's like a whole new gamut of information is going to flow out. So if you're just a public student, that is kind of sadly one of the things that happens very often in most places with public students is you're only going to get so much because, well, it's a public class and the teacher's dealing with more than just you. So there's only so much information you can gain. You know, if you talk to Sifu Larry, he most of the time was a private student of Sifu Fu, and that's why he was able to gain as much knowledge as he was in the time he did. So it is a lot different. But you did mention something that is a benefit.
I gotta say something about that.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, so when I started training with Sifu Fu, I wanted to train as a private student, but I couldn't afford that. So me and my best friend at the time were taking private lessons with Sifu, and then throughout the years I did it with some other people. But what happened was I would go around and in life and stuff, and I would play with different people, and I would end up playing with people who had 10, 15 years experience on me. And then I used to beat them. And then they would ask me, you know, God, you must have been training for so long, but I really wasn't. And out of respect, I would just say, I've been training a long time. And I didn't want to tell them like, nah, man, you stink. But the reason why that was, I believe, is because, you know, I was training with him and playing at his skill level. And then I'd play other people and their skill level was way off. And then as time went on, I realized they were learning how to do external martial arts. And I was learning how to do internal martial arts. And in that respect, softness wins out. So there's my quick story.
But it's not just that. It's he learned how to control the energy.
And I got a little bit of Asian in me. That tends to help, I think. That's what.
But a lot of people when they learn technique and they feel forced.
Well,
a lot of people. All right, let me finish. A lot of people when they feel forced, they compensate it by adding more. And I see it all the time when I train people. You know, what you lack in skill, you make up in strength. So if you don't know the technique and how to do it, you're going to add more force to try and make it work. And it may work because you become stronger at them, and then the person fighting you. And so you're like, yeah, you got to go fast. You got to go hard. I hear that all the time. Like, yes, I'm not saying it doesn't work. It can work. The problem is if the guy's stronger than you, it's not going to work too well. And the guy's skilled, he knows how to take that force and convert it, then it's not going to work too well at all either. So it works on the basis that the person's weaker than you and the person's not as skilled as you. So that's the criteria of knowing how to use your strength against someone. You know, I go against people all the time, twice my size, twice my strength, 3 times my strength. And I demonstrate all the time. It's not about the strength. It's about the control behind the energy. Remember, you can only apply strength if resistance is present. So I don't resist. I maintain structural integrity and I convert the difference. And that's really what we do. We learn how to control the energy. And if we can't handle the force, some people say, what happens if the guy's just too fast, too strong? Well, in terms of the strength, it's because you're fighting back. He can never overpower you unless first you fight back. In terms of the guy's fast, well, that's what training is, teaching how to handle that pressure. That's really what causes people to break down, the speed of it. And so you have to train how to handle the speed behind it. It's not the force. Force only increases because you resisted upon impact. We don't teach you to withstand force. We teach you how to connect to it. You know, we use the 3 C's: connect, conform, control. So you have to get the connection. You have to learn to conform to the energy that's greater than your structure. And then you have to learn to control it while doing that so you can steer the person. You know, and I always like to say, if you want to learn the 3 C's, you have to have 3 C's. You know, if you want to learn how to connect, form, control, you have to be calm, cool, and collected. So these are the things that you have to develop, the ability to how to manipulate the energy under pressure. And most of the people, they play defensive first. And that's a wrong mindset. So I call it receiving hands. So if she's swinging in my ear, they'll bring the hand up. They're receiving it. So they're waiting for it to come, and then they try to withstand it. We teach you how to initiate. So you're not the one receiving energy. You're the one actually attacking. They may throw the first punch, but you're going to be the one that lands the first punch. So that's really what we try to teach you to do. We're not playing defensive. We don't believe in defensive. Defensive means you're allowing the energy to come in. You're trying to get rid of it. You're trying not to get from harm. It's a wrong mindset. It's a wrong way to play. We teach you counteroffensive techniques or offensive techniques. There's no such thing as defense, only offense. You know, the best defense is a good offense, right? So why are you training to defend when you can learn to attack? Just because they throw the punch doesn't mean it's an attack. It means that you can attack it. It means don't stop the punch from getting into you. It's in the way for you hitting them. So you hit it so you can get clear the path so you can hit them. That's really what where our focus is. That's what we try to do all the time. You know, when people try to attack me at one point, I'm going to attack them from another. It's like, and I'm saying this is what we want to do, but the mindset should be like, okay, they're going to hit me at 5 pounds of pressure. I'm going to hit them at 25 pounds of pressure. And when they do that, so I'm going to exchange for the better. Not saying that that's how you want to fight, but that's the mental state you have to have. Not, oh, he's going to punch you at 5 pounds, but let me stop it first. And then whatever left I got, I can try to strike him. It's a waste of time trying to defend. That's why people can get hurt, because you're in the midst of defending, you can get hit. Well, don't do that. As they attack back. Whether it be the body, whether it be the limb, whether it be the legs, it doesn't matter. You're not defending. You're attacking. You're counterattacking. If it means just a small hit, not a hard hit, doesn't matter. Okay, it's about learning how to hit and put the pressure on them, and not letting them put the pressure on you. They may throw the force, but they're not the one applying the pressure. You are the one applying the pressure, and that's what you got to get in your mindset. That's what we want to always teach people. You know, mindset is very changes everything in how you play. You know, the best example I say is like, if some 6'5" guy, you know, 380 pounds of just burly muscle. I mean, the guy's a bear. He can be so scary looking. He threatens to kill you. The average man can be scared. And the reason why you're scared is not because he can hurt you. It's because you don't feel you can hurt him.
Right.
Because if I gave you a shotgun, you know, and the guy threatens you, would you be scared of the person? No, because now you're like, well, I can hurt this guy, you know, and the guy who's a 6'5" guy is going to sit there and go, all right, no problems here, because he knows or he believes you can hurt him now. If he doesn't believe he can hurt you, because let's say he knows how to dodge bullets, then he'd be like, I'm still going to kill you, because it won't hurt him, right? Okay. So he doesn't have the belief they can hurt, or I know how to dodge and get the gun out of your hand. And that's really what it is. It's about knowing how to create the proper damage. And so we teach you how to do that. We teach you how to create counteroffensive techniques, and we teach you how to generate that power, not by hitting with force, but piercing strikes. And that makes a big difference. And I'm not going to go into detail with that. I've talked about that all the time, but you're piercing them rather than forcing them. A sledgehammer versus a pickaxe, you know, Sledgehammer can do a lot of damage. Pickaxe will do a lot of damage to the biggest things. Sledgehammer gets limited by some more, when something becomes more resistant, it takes more force to hurt. Pickaxe, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. Yep. And also one of the benefits of just being with what we're able to do with our online family and stuff like that in our training courses is we don't have to leave any stone unturned, like with a public class, you know what I mean? Where there's only so much you can cover and there's only so much time every single week. You know, you have access to everything that we've trained up to date. And as time grows, you'll have access to even more great things. And Sifu Fu, the way he teaches is he does his best to really just break it down. So you do know, am I doing something wrong? How to know you're doing it right. You're not just mimicking movements and hoping that they're going to work or doing, you know, your forms and stuff like that. It's just extremely detailed. And that's why we love what we do. So.
We're not here to give you a fish. We're here to teach you how to fish.
Absolutely. Hey, Robert, good to have you on. Glad you were able to join us. So, all right, let's get to some more questions. We've got, let's see. Larry sent over, Sifu Larry sent over from Mortada. He says, or I don't know if it's a he or she. I'm sorry. So Mortada says, do you teach how to defend yourself from grappling attacks?
No, we teach how to counterattack it. We were just talking about, we teach grappling techniques, but again, our grappling techniques are different because we're not trying to create counter moves. We're creating counterattacks. So in our minds, we're not here. If someone put pressure on us, we know how to convert it. A great example I talk about, you know, like one of the techniques people do is they'll put their elbow, if you're on a choke like this, and they're trying to push you away. The mindset is we don't try to fight this because if someone's strong, it's going to hurt. So what we do is we convert that. So she's pushing me away. I'll turn the energy off and I can bring it back. So we don't teach you how to try to stop someone from attacking you. We teach you how to take advantage of that attack and bring it back to them. So we don't teach defense. We teach counter offensive techniques.
Yeah. And all our ground fighting is inside the site. Sifu doesn't share a lot of it on YouTube just because it's, you know, one of his favorite things and there's a lot that goes into it. And he really wants to keep the majority of that information for our family members. So for those of you that are family members and you already have access to it, if you're not training in that, I highly recommend it. It's great because you never know if someone's going to take you to the ground. I mean, that's real life stuff. So Dominic sent over, I touched hands with a friend last night for fun outside gate, both using the right hand, and I felt like I could really control his energy when he pressed lightly. Once he pressed harder, there was a bit of a fishtail effect where I would torque my wrist to dump his energy. He would adjust and I would torque the other way to follow him. It felt like I was doing 3-proof correctly, but we would go back and forth until he slipped by and would eventually touch my abdomen. I feel like I'm answering my own question as I type this because my mindset should have been to counterattack instead of continuing to defend. What drill could you recommend for training my sensitivity with an inexperienced partner? Should I have just started showing him push hands?
Well, you kind of answered your own question when you said the defense thing. Yeah. If he got in, it means you weren't on point. You were going for motion. Main big problem that people do is they start to go for motion. So when people start going back and forth, like she's pushing into me, I might turn and I'm trying to get her off. That's a wrong play. My job is when I turn, it's to get on point. So your movement, if you find that you're moving bigger and the frame, let's say, should be here and you're going outside the frame, you're going for motion. You're no longer going for point control. Okay. So that's a really big thing you got to watch out for. And if you're moving and you're learning to do 3-foot, but you're pulling away, that means that you're not creating counter forces technique. You're creating defensive techniques. You're trying to stop him from getting in, which is when you said he slipped by you. That means he went past point control, which means that you were probably pushing him off rather than pressing on point. So that's a big difference. What drill do we recommend? We have them on the site. We have sensitivity drills to teach you how to control point. But the mindset that you have to understand is don't, like you said, don't defend, but also don't go for motion. It's the biggest thing people make a mistake on. They go for motion rather than point control. They feel the energy and they try to take the energy out. So rather than like this, where she's pushing me, I'm trying to get her out. You see how much I'm bringing her away? That becomes defensive because once you start veering off the line of attack, then you go defensive. Remember, if I turn her, she pushes, I turn it so I can get the attack out. So if I'm turning her where I can't feel like I can just throw the attack, then it's no good. I always tell my students this: defensive hands, let's say, and I say defensive in a loose term, just saying a countering hands, let's say. I'll use that better word. Countering hands, if they have to reset to attack, they're not good. You have to take any point in which when you can turn the energy off, you should be able to spring right into their face or their body, whatever it is you're attacking. If you feel like you recover, for example, she comes at me and I go like this and then I come back, well, then I did it wrong because I went defensive. I went and veered away from my ability to attack. Whereas she comes at me, I turn and go into the attack. So that's one thing you have to watch out for. Make sure your hands are always able to spring load into the attack. Technically speaking, when he slipped past you, you should have been there to hit him. If you were coming in to try and stop it, you went defensive. You didn't have full pressure. You were probably going for the motion rather than the point control. Those are the things that you got to watch out for. And like I said, the sensitivity drills that we do, they're on site. So there's a lot of them. Again, I have to watch and see what kind of how you play the hand so I can correct that. I'd have to see it in order to know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Dominic, you could make a video and we could check it out and stuff and give you some critiques because there could be a lot of different things going on. Because when I read this, I'm thinking, you know, you could be forcing and then he's slipping past you because you're forcing. There could be all kinds of things going on.
And just to let you know, when you think in the attack, if you're not hitting each other, it's okay. Don't attack him. You don't have to hit them. Attack the point because that should be the first thing that you always should be going into, and then from there you would go to the face, the body, the arm. But if you don't want to hit them, that's fine. You don't have to, but attack the point. So if she's coming at me like this, I'm not going to, oh, here, she comes at me, I go attacking the point. She moves somewhere else. No, same hand. But sorry. She's doing it here. She moves somewhere else. I attack the point. You see, I'm always on point. I'm not here to go like this. She does the same thing. I turn him. She does it again. Where I'm playing like I'm moving. See, I notice I moved with her to work with her. But I didn't take it, right? Connect, conform, control. So when she moved this way, I'm not moving this way to move away. She moves that way. And notice how I brought it back. I want to return the energy. And again, you don't have to hit them. You just want to attack the point. And how do you attack the point? By driving the wrist and turn the point. You attack them through the torque. You don't attack them through the push. If you're doing it through the push, then you're doing more like this here, and you push it. That's a push. It has to feel like the wrist is turning. You see? Yeah. Not this is an arm. This is your shoulder. So if you ever feel pressure, it means your shoulders. If you go like this, then you're going past point. You're going for, again, you're going for motion, not for point. My job is to take the wrist and turn it right to point. So I turn the point. And you see how she moves? She moves me somewhere else. Let's say I turn the point. She moves another way. I go to point. You can see I'm always on point. It's always about the point, never about the motion. If you control the point, you get the motion that goes behind it. You don't get to control the point if you go for the motion first. More often than not, you'll fail because you're going to slip past them. So no good.
Dominic says, I felt like I could have thrown the attack, but because I did and we just kept playing the game, great point, pun intended. It looks like that was what was happening. Perfect. Thank you. Glad we could help. Tempa says, hi, Sifu. Why not Pao Kao or is that Qigong?
Xing Yi.
Xing Yi part of your internal arts? Is there a difference?
Why not Pao Kao? I don't know what that one is.
I haven't heard that one before. I have seen this word, but I'm not familiar.
There's lots of internal styles. I never learned Xing Yi. If I did, I probably would teach it, but I didn't learn it. I've seen it, but I never learned it. So I don't know it. That's why I don't teach it. So that's put it in a nutshell. That's why. And there's a difference. Yes, there's slight differences between. I think he means Bagua. I think maybe Bakwa.
Oh, Bakwa, maybe.
Bakwa. Maybe he, why not Bakwa or Xing Yi?
That sounds more.
I did do Bakwa. I didn't like it. Okay. So the Bakwa does pulling instead of pushing, whereas Tai Chi is you're pushing from the rear leg and going forward. Bakwa is a pulling. You don't push forward. You actually have to pull yourself forward, which wasn't a natural movement for me. I practiced it. I liked it in terms of the fluidity in the hands and everything. Yeah, but I didn't really like the theory of the body, how you did it. I don't think it was effective and energy efficient when it comes to combat. It's not a natural way you move. It's something you have to be conditioned to do, but it's not a natural movement. And I did not like anything where it was something you were naturally able to do instinctively. If you're not going to do that instinctively, then you shouldn't do it at all. So that was something that you have to go out of your way to do. You know, when we walk, we push, we don't pull. So I didn't like that. And but I did like the hands. The hands were fluid. Xing Yi, like I said, I've seen it. I never learned it. I can't answer in terms of like how good. And the guy who told me is like it's based on like an H format, the way it works. I've seen it. Like I don't know it, so I can't answer it. But if I learned it and I liked it, I would teach it. You know, I never did. There's lots of internal styles out there. I'm sure there are styles, internalists that are out there that people haven't heard that might be taught within the family. But like no diagnal, you know, but now it's taught outside. But In all internal styles, if they follow the same principle, it's fine. It's like math. One multiplies, one divides, one adds, one subtracts. So, 2 times 5 is 10, 6 plus 4 is 10, 20 divided by 2 is 10, 12 minus 2 is 10. They all get to the same way. One can be a little bit more complex because it's harder to divide quickly than it is to add, right? If I said 83 divided by 20, it's like, but if I said 83 plus 20, I already know pretty much you had 103, like it's much easier to do that. So certain internal styles can become very difficult. Like I said, Bagua to me is like dividing. It takes a lot more work to get that down. And it's not a natural thing for me. Like I said, for me, some people say, no, it's great. It's fine. And that works for them. That's fine. For me, it didn't feel natural. It wasn't something that I would instinctively do. When somebody punches, I'm not going to pull myself. I'm going to push myself instinctively. So even if I train like the next 25 years, I don't think I will instinctively pull myself because it's not an innate natural movement in the body. So, and I didn't want to veer away from what is natural to my body. So that's why I never finished Bakwa.
Yeah. And I will say, a lot of people are like, oh, I know this person, they do, they teach internal different martial arts and they do really good. What we're teaching is not like new or like some like revolutionary idea. It's just that the way Sifu Fu expresses it in No Dak Na is different than how other people express it. I like to say there's nothing new under the sun. These are just principles, time proven principles of physics and energy that have been around forever. So it's just a different way of expressing it. So it's not to say like, okay, this is better than something else. It's not that. It's just that Sifu Fu has a really unique way that makes it super easy for people to understand and grow from it and apply it to what they do. Let's see. Corey Rutherford said, Sifu, when you do a front kick, can you kick with the focus through your heel and still be effective?
Absolutely. That just depends on your range. Heel is actually if it's closer. Front kick gives you basically a maximum range with a front ball. But if you were, let's say, being choked up, someone coming in on you instead of front kicking where you have that range, you might feel like you're tighter. You would turn your foot out a little bit and just kick with your heel. Or if you're kicking higher to someone's chin, something like that. Those things are very powerful. Heel kick is very, very powerful. I mean, it's very powerful. Side kicks to me is like one of the most powerful kicks you can make. So yeah, it's powerful. With the front kick, again, depending on the height and the range, you're going to determine where you want to hit. The higher I go, which to me isn't feasible, I wouldn't want to kick a front kick going all the way high with the heel. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying I could just punch him in the face rather than kick him. To me, it's like easier to do that. It's within my range for my hands over my foot. But you can kick with your heel going higher. You can kick your heel if you're tighter. So heel's great, and they do generate a lot of power because it's backed up by your leg. And that's going to be backed up by the thrust from the hips and the ground and the root. So yeah, it's a very powerful kick.
Robert Taylor says, Sifu, what request are you doing? The cane defense by chance? Well, Sifu doesn't even know what request it is. We just got it. But we need to still get a cane. So I will actually put that to order one today. I've been hoping that I would like find one like a Goodwill or like a yard sale or something, but apparently I'm going to have to buy one full price. So I will just buy one off of Amazon and we will take care of that for you, Robert. All right. And I'm going to leave it a secret to what is coming next. Tempo sends over, hey, Sifu, beside the animal farms, is it good to develop animal-like instincts and aggression? Because some people may be not aggressive enough in self-defense or self-preservation.
Well, again, I always say mindset. We teach the mindset. The mindset changes the attitude, which then changes the way the body will respond. So the mindset, like I said, don't think defensive, think counteroffensive, think attacking techniques, think counterattacking, don't think defensive. Thinking defensive means you're the victim. Thinking attacking means that you're the perpetrator. So, you're not here to defend. You're not here to stop from being hurt. You're here to attack, to create the hurt. I always say you don't want to be in danger. You want to be the danger. So, creating that animal instinct is that, when animals fight, you see they come at each other and they find the way to attack each other. No one's trying to push the other animal off. They put their hands on and then they try to find the attack. The one who gets the better attack wins, and that's what happens. So you want to play aggressive in terms of pressure on someone, not aggressive in terms of just throw anything you can at them without control, without the focus. That's not good aggression. That becomes what we call committed energy. We don't want committed energy. We want forward energy. So forward energy is the same as committed energy, but in control and in balance. Committed energy is forward energy, out of balance, out of control. That's what it is. So you want to have that mindset to, yes, be more aggressive, but not aggressive until like a committed energy. It's that forward energy. In terms of the animal instinct, people are born with specific instinct. Now it can be trained, but there's this innate instinct. There's that fight or flight thing. Some people are just scared and they'll run. Some people don't know what to do. They freeze up, and it can be taught. It can be trained, but you have to have that training to put you in the right control of it. And it's putting your, what we call the natural instinct over the basic instinct. Natural instinct is something you can train with. It's your environment. It's your experience in your life that shapes you. That's your natural instinct. Basic instinct is pre-programmed. It was born in you. No one teaches you. No one taught a baby how to suck. No one taught a baby how to cry when it wasn't, or how to poop. It's just something you do instinctively. You're born with it. For a guy, you come up to a guy and you say you can hit him in the groin, he'll go like this. Some untrained person, they all have an instinct to do that because it's your instinct to protect and stop from harm. Trained fighters might come down and hit. Somebody might cut the angle. Somebody will do both. Somebody might bring their knee up. That's what natural instinct is. It's your experience that teaches you to do that. Basic instinct is pre-programmed. It's something God programmed in you that you can't get rid of. The idea is to get your natural instinct to always supersede the basic instinct, and you'll handle the pressure. So this is your basic instinct, this is your natural instinct. If somebody fights you within a lot of pressure, you're fine. But what happens when they put you above that pressure, when your natural instinct can't handle, your basic instinct takes over. And that's what we want to train. So your natural instinct is so high that the pressure people put you in, your basic instinct won't get back up where you're playing for defense and trying to stop from being harmed. You want to create the harm. So that's what you want to do.
Yeah. And I also will just say, just by training and having a good training partner or a teacher that can work with you that keeps increasing the pressure on you as you get the techniques, over time, you're just going to naturally have that instinct and you're not going to be as fearful. Because I do know what you're talking about. There's some people that just don't have any self-confidence and they're afraid to get hit and all these different things. And the only way to get past that is working on your mindset and training. Eventually that will all get worked out. Yeah.
And just be careful that you're not getting this false confidence. There are people there because they think I got a belt. I got a black belt in a year. I'm tough now. No. Always be humble first off. Just know that there's a lot to learn, that you can always grow. So once you start thinking that you can handle anything and everything, you got to be careful, because that's when you can be vulnerable. Always expect the unexpected, so to speak. Always know that, so someone better than you can beat you. You're not the toughest person in the world. So you have to be careful. Fear can be a good thing because it can teach you how to harness it for the attacks, but it also teaches you how to not to be overconfident, where you can overthrow yourself and get hurt by it. So, you want to be in control. We always teach control. The first weapon is this. The second weapon is this. And so you have to control the mind, assess the situation. If I'm in an area where it's dark, it could be jumped by 10 people. So I want to move to a position where I'm not, maybe put my back to the corner if I can't escape. That way I know I can't get snuck behind, stuff like that. These are, knowing, someone comes up from you, maintain a certain space that that if you attack, you can have that space in the response time that you can come in for the attack or counterattack. So these are things that, that all the training does for you, to be aware of your environment, to be aware of yourself, to know that when you're in combat, you want to be able to feel it, not think it and just go back. I don't want to get hurt, and just go that, that, pow, 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 and you go for the attack, because the best defense is a good offense. Just remember, 3 things stops the person from attacking you: knock them out, lock them out, or they get what they want. And obviously, if they're trying to hurt you really badly, then we don't want that. So you have to follow along your movements between knocking them out or locking them out. And if you're not in one of those movements, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do right. If you're playing defensive, you're playing to stop them. Well, why is it going to stop attacking you then? You did nothing to stop them. You have to knock them out or lock them out. So everything you do should be based on those 2 principles. Am I able to knock them out within this move? Am I able to lock them out with this move? If it's not within one of those 2 categories, you're not doing the technique properly, or you're not doing a proper technique at all. So that's one of the things that your mindset has to be. That animal instinct you're saying, it's just instinct. Okay, it's not animal, it's not human. It's just instinctive response, and that should be the natural instinctive response you should have.
Yes, yes. Douglas said, Dear Sifu, I'm concerned. I've started moving like a snake and beating up my house. What should I do? Just kidding. Stop being a snake then, brother. No. Robert said, you said AbRequest. Are you doing? Oh, okay. That was a double one that got sent over. All right. We're good. You must be on YouTube and on here live with us, Robert. All right. So Tempa says, Sifu, please share a little insight on closing and entering and controlling.
Okay. In terms of closing and entering, again, it falls along with attacking. Anything a person does, I'm not here to defend. So I always think of, I tell my students to stay within the gate. Every movement should be in a small frame. You should not go big. Once you go big, you miss big. Okay. There was a saying in the page, aim small, aim big, miss big. So you want to keep yourself in focus. When you're closing in, the best way to close in is go for the lines. Don't go for like first she's swinging in my head. I don't want to go like this. I don't want to feel like I'm swinging away. I want to go up and go into the line. I want to go into my target. I always want to close in for the strike. Every movement I make is there to create attack or counterattacking techniques. So I want to be able to think of how I can strike them in that movement, not how to block them and stop them from hurting me. So it's how can I hurt them with that? So that's the thing. Everything that occurs, like my favorite, somebody asked us, I think last week, what's our favorite technique? Mm-hmm. Mine is just a straight line blast in. You know, no matter how somebody puts their hands up like this, I just go straight in. You know, no matter what, I'm just going to shoot for that line. I don't think defensive. As soon as I think defensive, I'm going to wait for them to attack first, and then I'm going to try to handle it. I don't care what they do. It's like I said, I have the mental status. Yeah, they can hit me at 10 pounds of pressure, but I'm going to hit them at 55 pounds of pressure. You know, like that's my mindset. I don't think that I don't want to get hurt first. I think like they're a 3-year-old kid. What harm they're going to do to me? Even if they touch me, it doesn't hurt. But when I touch them, it's going to hurt. So that's one of the things that you want to do in closing and entering. Just go for that line of attack. In terms of controlling, that goes into like grappling and anti-grappling in terms of if they're on you and they have the constant pressure. That comes down to skill. Controlling, again, is about point control. It's about driving through the spiral and making the wrist turn to point, not the arm pushing against the point. Controlling is about manipulation of the energy by conversion, not by resistance. So those are the things that will help you if you want to get better at it.
Yeah, and you guys couldn't hear that, but there was a little swoosh with that punch there. I could hear it. I heard the energy moving. But yeah, a lot of people aren't expecting that. Sifu Larry, one of his daughters, his oldest daughter, was actually like a play date. I had brought her because she was a friend of one of the older kids, and then I brought my daughter who was friends with the son, and the one had been doing Taekwondo, and she's like, "All right, punch me. I'm going to block this." Right. And she's used to, doing her Taekwondo stuff. And Sifu Larry's been teaching her, to do that straight line attack. And let's just say there was a little blood on the nose. I'll just leave it at that.
Not on the daughter, on the friend.
Because right. Because most people are not expecting you to just go out and do that. So it is very effective and it's very simple. So work on your punches if you aren't already. There you go. We have a couple more minutes, so I'll wait to see if any other questions come through because we did get started a couple minutes late. But I think that is everything. I'm going to double check our emails real quick while I'm waiting. Go to webinar questions. All right, we covered that. All right, I did cover that. I talked to him already in regards to that. So I think we're good there. And yep, I took care of Curtis already. And okay, looks like everything else is just general customer service stuff. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I hope, oh, hold on. We got one person made it in right before I was about to close. Dane says, "Hi guys. I was wondering if you had any advice for developing the subhydro shock attack or soft palm. To add some detail, my teacher says the idea is to have a relaxed palm. The effect makes the hit penetrate more into the body."
To developing it, okay. To developing it, 3 proof. Okay. Just to understand, power is 2 things. It's speed over area. So relaxing works because it allows you to move faster. So that gives you speed. But speed in itself is not good if your focus is off. So you got to make sure that you have the proper focus. So if you're hitting with your palm, there are 3 points in your palm you can hit with: the pinky side, the center point, and then the thumb side. So depending on which angle you're coming from and how you want to land it, just to make sure, for example, if I'm hitting on my pinky side like this, I'm not hitting her, so don't worry. But if I'm doing like this, I roll off, that's not good because my energy is not to point. My energy actually rolled off point. If I'm doing this, I hit in there, you can see that it goes into point. So you got to make sure that, you know, while relaxing, you have to learn how to accelerate that without tensing. That's the key. And then finding your focus behind that. Without the focus, it's like, I always use the example of like two cowboys drawing. I may draw faster, but if I can't aim and hit my target, the other guy might be slower, but he can hit his target. I'm the dead person.
Right.
So it's not always the faster draw that wins because it's the faster draw with the right aim. Same thing. The fastest speed don't always win if you're unfocused. I can hit fast, but I can scrape her. It don't mean anything because the focus is not there. I can hit slower, but have the right focus. I still do more damage. But they both will go hand in hand. You want to have the speed behind it because speed will enhance that focus. And the focus is great, but without the speed behind it, it'll hurt, but not as much. You know, obviously faster, it magnifies.
But it's better to have that than be fast.
It's better to be focused and slower than it is to be faster and unfocused. Now, the problem with it is if you're slower, the guy can punch you back. So that's why you need to have both. Before you can punch him, he might hit you. That's why you have to have both. So yes, to get that power, to get that shock, to get that, you want to create that focus behind that acceleration, the speed. And that's how you're going to get your hits. But to do that, 3-proof. How do you do that? 3-proof. Shoulder goes to elbow, elbow goes to wrist, wrist turns to point. If you go from, most people, they go from shoulder to the wrist. They'll do like, and they throw the shoulder to the wrist. The problem is with the elbows unsteady, it wants to collapse under impact. So you got to make sure it goes to shoulder, elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist to point. 3-proof is the way to do it. And then apply the acceleration behind the focus, and you have your power behind any attack. It doesn't even have to be that hydro shock palm thing. It could be in anything, where it would be my finger, my palm, my knuckles, even my shoulder. I can hit with my shoulders. Learn how to accelerate. Learn how to hit with that focus and learn how to hit with acceleration. And so, you know, hips, knees, heels, front ball, toes, fingers, not nose though. It's not enough structure. Structural integrity, but anything that's strong enough, solid enough to make the impact. 3-proof, and then get the focus behind that speed, and you're good.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sifu, and thank you all of you for joining us for our Friday webinar. I hope you got a lot of good information to go back and test out and check out. Dean says, perfect, thanks, practice more it is. Yes, that's always the answer, but practice right.
Proper practice.
Proper practice. More will get you the results that you want. So yeah, if you're not a member of Enter Shaolin yet, go to entershaolin.com/join, and you will get all kinds of amazing content and training, as well as help to help further whatever it is that you want to do with your martial arts and kung fu journey. And if you want to go to our seminar, go to entershaolin.com/seminar. And if you just want to see more of these awesome videos on YouTube and all that good stuff, and just give us a little extra love, you can go to Patreon. That's patreon.com/Enter Shaolin, and give us a little support and some extra bonus training as well.
And if you're thinking about going to summer, please come. I mean, I'm telling you, you're going to be blown away. Every time.
I haven't seen one person come to one of his seminars and not be like, whoa, I'm so
if
happy.
You're on the fence, hop over, because you will not regret it. I promise you. We'd love to meet you first off. You know, we love to meet everyone in the family, and we love to meet you all. You know, we're very friendly people. You know, we like.
In case you haven't noticed.
But also, you know, if you're wondering, you know, like, should I? I'm not sure. Do it. I guarantee you, you will not regret it.
Yeah. It's worth.
I guarantee you, not. It's because you're just seeing what we're doing, hearing what we're doing. You're not feeling what we're doing, and it's going to be a whole new world. It's like the best analogy I can give you is like you were born blind. Someone always tries to describe you color. You could say, yeah, in your mind you pick what colors until someone fixes your eyes so you can see color. Then the world is like, whoa, and that's what it's going to be like when you come to our seminar. It's very different from everybody else's seminar, because we're not going to teach you to mimic us. We're going to teach you to understand how energy works. I'm going to teach you how to learn how to move that energy, and you're going to teach you how to perfect that energy through what we do through the MDN system. And it's very, very different. It's like nothing you've ever seen. It's what makes us very unique, because we're about energy. People are about movements. We're not about movements. We're about energy control. And that makes a huge, huge difference in everything you do. So no matter what your discipline is, no matter what your style is, like, oh, I don't want to change. I'm not asking you to change. I'm asking you to come. And I'm asking you to come and see the difference. And I'm not going to hear we never knock down any style, ever. Our philosophy is we'll show you what we do. And it's up to you to make the conclusion decision whether it's good or
what's
not.
good for you. Yep.
And I guarantee you, we've never had anyone say that wasn't good for me. like I can't use that. It's always, oh my
We get a lot of
gosh.
people talking some smack before they come and visit though. But once they visit, it's a life changer. And we're just here to help you grow and be better. So if you're interested in that, check it out, entershaolin.com/seminar. We'd love to have you and just show you, some stuff that you probably haven't seen before, learn some new techniques, and meet some amazing people. So, all right, we'll see you on Tuesday. I think that the weather is going to be fine as of right now. So we will definitely see you on Tuesday night. And if you don't know how to sign up for that webinar, go to entershaolin.com/webinar, and we'll see you then. Bye, everyone.